Joke's on you, buddy. Joke's on you. Stand there and eat it. Eat the loss because we have to do it again and again and again.
Hey guys, welcome back to Little Big Opinions. I'm Big.
And I'm Little.
And this episode is brought to you by Sacieta Law Personal Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in a car accident, you need more than just a lawyer. You need an advocate who truly cares and fights hard for what you deserve. Call Sacieta Law at 305-340-9082 or visit sacietalaw.com for your free consultation. Sacieta Law, where strength meets compassion. We also got producer Mark here. What's up, Mark?
What's up, everybody?
And this episode is powered by 786 Sports. It's sponsored by our good folks at Sacieta Law. It's another week.
It's another loss.
Another cry. Another cry fest. Another heartbreaking loss. I almost cried yesterday after the game. Legit.
Yeah, I almost cried because you don't get excited about a lot of things. That's a lie. You get excited about a lot of things, but you love the Goodyear Blimp. And I drove in yesterday, and I could see it. I was like, Brittany, I just spoiled the surprise. Sorry, guys. I'm with Brittany. She was a special guest that never came on social media. But anyways, I'm like, look, the Goodyear Blimp. She goes, so what? I go, Ryan loves that thing. And you weren't here, man. I missed you in that moment.
So I was driving back. So I went on a fantastic golf trip this weekend. 16 guys. Shout out to GBC 2025 group. Went to Reunion Resort. We have to go. We have to take the wives, guys. We have to take the kids. They got splash pads for the kids. Golf, 3 golf courses for the men, and women if they want to play. You got Disney World right around the corner. Impeccable.
Nice.
Driving back home yesterday, I see the Blimp there.
Oh, okay.
And I got really pumped. Really pumped.
It was really low to the stadium. Like, I thought it was crashing or something because the Dolphin season is crashing as we speak. And I thought, that would just be so fitting. So you had the Fire McDaniel and Greer sign going, and right behind it was the Goodyear Blimp. Didn't crash, but the Dolphins did.
Absolutely brutal. We're going to go straight into the recap here. So, Mark, cue the music.
All right, so the Dolphins start off with the first pass play of the game, and Jalen Waddle thought they were playing hot potato, tossing the ball right to a Chargers defender for an interception. It was early, so the Dolphins rookies were able to concentrate long enough to stay in their assignments on D and held the Chargers to a Dicker field goal. After a Dolphins drive ending in, you guessed it, another sack, Oronde Gadsden Jr. fumbled the ball to give the Dolphins back the ball. Achane takes the very next play after the turnover for a 49-yard touchdown. The Chargers stormed back the very next drive, putting a 7-play, 55-yard drive, which stalled out, setting up another Dicker, the kicker, field goal. And after one, the Dolphins led 7-6.
Second quarter was centered on field goals. Riley Patterson opened up the period, attempting a career-long 57-yard kick. Is it there? No, it fell short. The Chargers then, on a short field, were happy to get on the board with a 29-yard field goal by Cameron Kicker the Dicker, giving them a brief 9-7 lead. Then Miami responded later in the quarter when Patterson converted from 47 yards out to reclaim the lead 10-9. And then the Dolphins then closed the half with an efficient 2-minute drive capped by a 27-yard Patterson field goal as time expired, extending the Dolphins' advantage going to the halftime 13-9.
You know what? In the third quarter, if the Dolphins aren't going to try, neither am I. Dolphins produced minus 11 yards, and the defense gave up 155 yards and 14 points. Chargers led going into the fourth, 23-13.
So the Chargers opened the final quarter with a 35-yard field goal by Mr. Dicker himself, increasing their lead to 26-13 with 12:47 remaining. Miami answered with a determined drive capped by a 4-yard touchdown from Devon Achane in his second of the game, narrowing the deficit to 26-20. Following a key defensive stop, Miami and Tua Tagovailoa had a go-ahead drive as Tua connected with tight end Darren Waller on a 7-yard touchdown pass, giving the Dolphins a 27-26 advantage with just 46 seconds remaining.
Moments, Ryan. Moments.
That's it. He came back. We won the game. It's over. But wait, the special teams strike again, starting on their own 41-yard line. The Chargers, after a 40-yard kickoff return by Nyheim Hines, The Chargers mounted their final possession. The pivotal play coming when Justin Herbert escaped pressure from Jalen Phillips and found rookie receiver Ladd McConkey, who broke a tackle and turned into a 42-yard gain to the Miami 17-yard line with 34 seconds left, capped off by a 33-yard go-ahead field goal by kicker the Dicker. But wait, there's time. Tua has time. Can he pull off a miracle? Final desperation pass was intercepted by Derwin James, securing a 29-27 victory for the Chargers.
Another ball game, another loss. 1-5.
Can we go to that final play? You're at the stadium. So first off, how was the crowd?
Okay, so I was driving in and I was thinking, okay, the Chargers don't have that many fans at home, so they're definitely not going to have that many fans on the road. I was wrong. There was definitely a lot of Chargers fans, a lot more than I expected to be there, but there were a lot of Dolphin fans. And, you asked me early, was it empty? I would never say the Dolphins games are empty, but they were there. They were lively. I told you most likely a lot of fans gave away their tickets to other people because they're tired of seeing the team lose. So it seemed like they were really into it. It seemed very loud every time they scored, like louder than usual, especially for how many Chargers fans they were. I was surprised how many Chargers fans they were because when we scored that first touchdown, the stadium was hot, popping. So that was that. That final drive, let me tell you. First of all, going into the final drive where we're scoring, Malik Washington, dude, you can't go out of bounds. And from our seats, I couldn't see. It was on our side of the field, but it was on the opposite sideline.
So on the Dolphins sideline.
So on the Dolphins sideline, we sit on the away team sideline. So I was looking, and from here, it didn't seem like he was for sure out of bounds, but he obviously jumped out of bounds, which stopped the clock, which one gave the Chargers a chance to keep their timeout, and second, left enough time for them to have the ball to actually go down and just score what would have been a field goal to win the game, which they ultimately did. That's just the microcosm of the season. Just little things that we continue to do that just lead into a loss. There's more than just that. That was not it. But on the final play, twice, it was back-to-back plays. Jalen Phillips had this guy wrapped around in his arms, in his grabs. He's got him. I'm like, I jump up, sack twice with no sack. He throws the ball. Now, our seats aren't very good, but there's one clear thing that I had, and it was Ladd McConkey, and I saw Trader standing in front of him, and I was like, there's no chance that guy's going to stop him one-on-one. And that was it. That was ball game.
Let's go back to the previous drive by Tua. Tua's down. I think he had the ball for 2 minutes, right?
Yeah. So he actually had two beautiful drives. So let's get to the third. You want to get to the third quarter? Or
third quarter was all field goals.
No. Let's get to the game. The game was actually very exciting, right? I was thoroughly impressed by the effort that the defense was putting out. They were making stops. They were bending, not breaking. This was the defense we thought we were going to see. The offense, besides the hot potato pick in the first half, they played pretty well. They started running the ball, and it was back and forth. It was a great game, back and forth. Again, we never, no one misses 50-yard field goals except for the Dolphins. They missed a 50-yard field goal.
It was a 57-yard field goal.
And sure, they
he's
missed
a backup kicker.
A little bit more of settling for the field goals, I felt. The play calling was a little bit settling for field goals. We saw a lot last year from McDaniel. But whatever, we were up. It was a good game. We were excited. I thought, man, they could have a chance. But then the third quarter comes.
And then
and they don't even show up. And I thought it was going to be a bloodbath. I thought for sure it was. I said it in the recap. Negative 11 yards of offense.
They are the Dolphins are the worst second half football team in the NFL. They are also the worst fourth quarter football team in the NFL. And it just shows you that they can't make adjustments at halftime. The Chargers got the ball to start the half, came down, scored. Scored a field goal. It was just nothing but field goals in the third quarter, but then they just put it on themselves, and going up 26-13, I thought it was completely over. And Tua had two really good drives, as you mentioned, being efficient. The running game was working with Devon Achane, who, again, I'm going to say it, is the best running back in football. Okay. But then that final drive, Jalen Phillips. What's going on with you? You do this all the time that you wrap up, but you don't wrap up. You lose your feet. You know, Mark, you had a very good analysis through the text messages. Do you want to kind of tell the folks what you felt about that piss poor sack attempt?
Well, I wouldn't call myself a football player per se, but I did play football when I was younger. And one of the first things that you learn as a defensive player is that when you wrap up, you never leave your feet. You need to use your feet to drive through the person and bring them down. And he doesn't do that. He expects his big frame and body weight to bring them down. And that might work for like a Bryce Young or a Tua, but against a big guy like Herbert, you're not bringing him down like that. You gotta make the tackle and keep on driving those feet. Drive forward.
Right. So back to the point, like you were saying in the second half, how bad they are. Specifically in the fourth quarter, they're outscored 42-20 in the games this year. They've lost every single third quarter except one. Can you name the one that they didn't lose?
The Jets game?
The Jets game, and they won that game. Okay. It's very evident they come out and they're flat. They're either not making adjustments at halftime, and I know that whole adjustment thing is kind of, not as much as we make it out to be, but dude, they came out and they were the same team we saw last week against the Panthers when the Panthers slowly came back and they beat us. Yesterday, we were just playing against a much better team, and they came at it. And by the way, their offensive line was decimated. Their their tackle that they had playing is not very good. They had Nyheim Hines. I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Well, he
right. They have him. They had another guy, Vidal, who we've never heard of.
Kimani Vidal was the main guy. Nyheim Hines didn't have an attempt yesterday, just to let you know that. But Kimani Vidal had 18 carries for 124 yards yesterday. We gave up another 140 yards on the ground. 124 yards to a practice squad player who they brought up to the practice squad last week. So it was just, big plays, big running plays, decimated that were led to field goals. Like you said, bend, don't break. But eventually, when you give Justin Herbert too many opportunities, he's going to win the game. And Jalen Phillips, brother, again, there's an opportunity to have a big play happen that would have had them, probably at their own 50, at the 50-yard line. They would have to waste the timeout. Doesn't look good. You just didn't wrap up, dude. You just didn't wrap up. You're looking like Antonio Cromartie out there. Brutal, dude. Just wrap up, dude. Unbelievable.
Well, the thing is, like, Justin Herbert, I've watched him his entire career, and he's had these opportunities late in the game before, and he always seems to get sacked. He doesn't ever, and it shows. He didn't even score a touchdown, right? They ended up having to do a field goal.
Yes.
Well,
I get that that's what they did. But I don't know. We've seen, as the Dolphins fans, I've seen we're just going to pass the ball, and then they score these like 15-yard touchdowns. They didn't have that. Like, we had that opportunity, and this guy religiously messes that up, and we couldn't finish the job. We couldn't finish the job. Sad.
Could have gone 2-4. Could have gone into Cleveland this upcoming week, going 2-4. Maybe things are coming back. I do agree with you that the defense was getting after it early on and had some more juice to them. But again, we lost the time of possession for 35-25. It's just nonstop mistakes. And Tua threw 3 picks. One of them was a hot potato. That's on Jalen Waddle. That's not on Tua.
The last one doesn't matter either.
The last one doesn't matter either. Fine. Okay,
but
I agree.
The second one's inexcusable.
But the second one is inexcusable. Then we got to go talk about after the game. Okay, so you lose the game. It's over.
Can I just say something? Nyheim Hines average. He had kickoff returns. Yes. So he had the big kickoff return at the end. That's what I remember.
Got it.
But he's a running back.
Yeah, he is a running back. Yeah. Got it. Okay, cool. We're talking about people's. I did say the kickoff return.
That was a big. But that was a big play.
It was huge.
In this
it was
game.
huge. You're absolutely.
So when
right.
I'm looking at the recap and I keep hearing Hines, at least 3 times he's running down the field.
God,
okay,
Duncan Hines over here. Okay,
averaging over 35 yards a kick return. Okay,
let's go to the media. Then Tua comes out and. I have no idea what the hell is going on with this guy. I really do think he has CTE or with the cornrows.
Let's not
get rid of this. Get rid of the cornrows, because for you to come and be asked, okay, how does the team not going to be down in the dumps? How do the players not take take these losses hard, and how do they bounce back? And then he goes on to respond saying that
The leadership.
The leadership is not there. Players are late to players-only meetings that they're not even showing up. Some are not even showing up. He's saying that after he throws one pick, really 3 picks, and it's on you. Now, did he come back and he had a hell of a drive? I was asking people before that drive, hey, Tua, this is on you. He had a great drive.
He had 2 great drives. Came
back, could have possibly won the game if you have a legit defense. But you're a franchise quarterback.
Well, the last 2 weeks, he's done enough that they should have won the game.
Yes.
Period. The end.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
what I don't agree with, and I have opinion on this. No, I have an opinion on this. I don't agree with his leadership.
You weren't even there. Don't scream at me.
With his leadership, he has no leadership qualities. And this whole thing, he has a stick this year that he's going to say whatever comes into his wobbly brain that has less fluid, according to him, to the media. You are the leader of this football team. You're supposed to be the leader. You don't come out and call people out in the media or out in public like that. You think Tom Brady ever did that? You think Peyton Manning ever did that? No. Keep that shit internally, and then you go bitch at them in the locker room. As if you're the leader of where you work, right? People look up to you where you work. If you were acting like that and calling people out, don't you think it would be bogus? If you're a leader of your baseball team.
You never call anybody out in front of the entire team. That's not necessary. It's not there. And I understand he didn't call specifically anybody out, by the way.
I don't give a shit.
So, secondly, leadership starts ahead of him.
Oh my. Okay.
There is no leader on the team. There is no culture in the team. And guess who started with the calling things out? McDaniel. McDaniel's the first one that called people out. He's the first one that started with the let's finger point to let's shed the blame. You want to know why? Because whenever you go into a season with possibly the coach has to succeed or else he's going to get fired. Whenever you go into the season that way, as soon as things turn bad, people don't come together. They start pointing fingers to make sure they let the owner know, let the GM know, it's not my fault, it's his fault. And that's what's happening. And I don't agree with it. I don't like the fact that Tua is saying these things, and I agree with you on that. But it's not just a him problem. Like this organization has no leaders. And it starts with the head coach. He set the culture of what we can do. And he set the culture of a player-led team. What does that even mean? Players cannot lead a team. That's why there's a head coach. Like, there's a reason why we have coaches. And these player-led meetings, coaches are there. What does that mean? That's not a player-led meeting. That means it's practice. Do we not have enough practice and coach meetings that the players need to create their own meeting? This doesn't make sense. This is garbage. What are we doing, Ryan? You want to talk about it? Tell me more. I get it. He shouldn't say that, but the problem is deeper than the words he's saying. It's already gone, dude. The season's gone. There's no point of watching anymore unless we're going to get moments. The moment that I had that I felt like we were going to win for a second was fun. And then I looked at the clock. I was like, there's 46 seconds. We're not going to win this game. Like, we're not going to do it. But the season's gone, man. Tua is going to be gone next year.
Next year, going into next year, you think 2026 he's not the starting quarterback?
Well, I was saying that, and as I said that out loud, Adam Scheffler and Ian Rappaport today said that Mike McDaniel is not going to get fired unless it gets way worse. I don't know how much worse you want. See this? Woo! This is a giveaway from like 8 years ago. It has the wrong colors on it. If you could see, it has Tua's number coincidentally. But we don't get anything as fans, Stephen Ross. You don't do anything for us. We didn't even get a flyover yesterday. Are you kidding me?
You got the blimp, dude.
It doesn't matter.
That's why there was no. By the way, that's why there was no flyover. There was a blimp.
No, that's not good enough. Every stadium gets freaking flyovers. They get 3 jets. We get 2. If we get a bomber, we get no jets. And we get the Goodyear blimp, we get nothing. Are you kidding me, Stephen Ross? Wake up, dude.
Hey.
The last 2 years, your only giveaway has been hurricane giveaway leftovers.
Yeah,
Are you
the bucket hat
kidding me? No, there was something yesterday of colors, the same thing. Like, it's garbage. Steve Ross, wake up, dude. The leader that has the problem is you. It's not McDaniel. It's not Greer. It's not Tua. It's you. You set the example, and you're never there. You're up on your castle, right? What you said last week. Like, you're up in your castle. Wake up and do something. Like, these guys aren't good. You ran downstairs last week because you thought they were going to win. Joke's on you, buddy. Joke's on you. Stand there and eat it. Eat the loss because we have to do it again and again and again. And yes, we don't have the money you do, and we don't pay for all the glitz and glamour that you brought to that stadium, but we only care about one thing, dude. We only care about the Dolphins. What are you doing, man? Wake up. Our hard-earned money is going into that. And he said it last week. You only care if we start to boo? Well, there's a lot of boos the other day, and we already canceled, okay? We already told the guy that we're not going to renew. And I'm telling every season ticket holder, you guys didn't sell out the suites this year, the club level. Guess what? You're going to have 2 less guys, and I'm telling all of the other season ticket holders, do not re-sign unless they make changes, because big-time changes are necessary. And I didn't even know I was going to go on this rant.
Let's go.
But guess what? Chris is pissed. I'm done. I can't be apathetic. Yeah. I'm not apathetic anymore. I'm just pissed, dude.
Yeah.
And this guy making the wrong points. It's not about Tua's leadership. It's about yours, Stephen Ross.
Oh, it is. Oh. Yeah. Finally, dude.
Dude.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Is the show over?
No, this sucks, man. This sucks. I mean, honestly, every weekend is a heartbreak. That's a heartbreaking loss. We've had 4 close losses this year. It's a shame. It's a shame that we're here. We're 1-5. We're bottom 5 of the NFL. We're going up against the Cleveland Browns next week. If you lose against the we'll talk about that in a little bit. So let's move on.
Wait, I want to go back to that. So you were with Stephen Ross. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Sorry, everyone.
Sweet. All right. We'll come back to that when we go over the Browns, if you can think of it again. So there's a lot going on around the NFL.
Whoever put these out there before the show started, thanks, because that just reminded me to do that.
All right. Fastest 4 minutes in sports. Mark, cue the music. All right, the Eagles at the G-Man. What a statement night from Giants rookies, with Jackson Dart becoming the second QB ever to lead his team to an opening drive touchdown in each of his first 3 career starts. Can you guess who the other quarterback is? His name, Patrick Mahomes. Cam, boo, ran for 3 touchdowns in the win over Philadelphia Giants 34, Eagles 17.
Cowboys versus Panthers. Rico Dotto took this game personally, facing his old team. He went full revenge mode, 239 total yards and a touchdown, basically telling Dallas, you should have kept me. Bryce Young looked sharp, tossing 3 touchdowns, including two to rookie Ted McMillan. The Cowboys kept it close behind Dak Prescott, 261 yards and 3 scores, but their run game was missing in action. 31 rush yards total, which is like trying to win a race on a treadmill. Tied late, Young led a 15-play clock-eating drive, capped off by a field goal as time expired. Panthers walk it off 30-27 as Carolina fans chant, how about them cats? That's 2 in a row.
We're back in London town. Here we go.
How do you always get to the London game?
The Broncos at the Jets versus the Jets in London town, Tottenham Hotspur. The Denver's defense brought down Justin Fields 9 times and held New York to just 82 total yards. This game was so sloppy, both teams should have been issued a yellow card, and the fans refunded their pounds. There's a fuel shortage as the Jets remain the NFL's lone winless team at 0-6. Broncos 13, Jets 11.
Raiders versus Titans. The Raiders finally remembered how to win a football game, taking down the Titans 20-10 behind a nasty defensive showing. Max Crosby lived in the backfield with 2 sacks, and Devin White turned into a turnover machine with a forced fumble and a pick. Las Vegas finally snapped their 4-game skid. Rookie Cam Ward flashed at some talent for Tennessee, but spent most of the day running for his life. Raiders win 20-10, and the Titans offense still looking like it's stuck in preseason mode, but it's not preseason, which is why they fired their coach, Brian Callahan. Lucky Titan fans, we still have our coach.
The Browns visiting the Steelers. Rookie quarterback Dylan Gabriel got the sack lunch special in Pittsburgh as Cleveland's offense was utterly overwhelmed as the Steelers' defense, returning to full strength, produced 6 sacks and hit the rookie QB 16 times. Aaron Rodgers and the Steeler offense were high on life Sunday, showcasing the remarkable protection and precision against the NFL's second-ranked overall defense. Rodgers finished with a strong stat line, 21 for 30, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a stellar 115 passer rating. The Puppies lost their way in Acrisure Stadium once again. That's now 22 straight home regular season victories for Pittsburgh versus the Dog Pound. Steelers 23, Browns 9.
49ers versus Bucks. Baker Mayfield continues to be lights out, throwing for 256 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a clutch 3rd and 14 scramble that led to a dagger pass to Tez Johnson. The Bucks defense held strong in the fourth, shutting down San Francisco's comeback attempts. Mac Jones had a big day, passing 347 yards, but threw 2 costly interceptions and showing why he's still the backup. San Francisco lost All-Pro Fred Warner early, and the 49ers couldn't recover. Tampa Bay rummages the gold away from the 49ers and take the win 30-19.
The Patriots were in New Orleans visiting the Saints. Mayday! 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 The gosh darn Patriots found the next Tom Brady. No! He delivered his 5th straight game with 100-plus passer rating, showing the elite control with 3 touchdowns and 0 turnovers against the Saints. It was a homecoming for Kayshawn. My girl got a big old bootay, who had 2 touchdowns to seal the game with a clutch 21-yard reception on a key 3rd down in the final minutes. Patriots 25, Saints 19.
Bengals versus the Packers. Green Bay held off a late Bengals surge to win 27-18. Josh Jacobs powered the Packers with 2 rushing touchdowns. A late 3rd down conversion all but sealed the win for the Packers. Joe Flacco in his debut threw 2 touchdowns, including a late strike to Jamar Chase, but it wasn't enough. Cincinnati's comeback fell short as Green Bay's defense kept the first half scoreless and the lead intact.
The Rams were visiting the Ravens in a big snooze fest. Rams inside linebacker Nate Landman set his franchise single-game record with 17 tackles. It was a dark day for the Ravens offense, who were held to 3 points without their MVP quarterback. Stafford and the Rams 17, Ravens 3.
In a Sunday night, the Lions take on the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes threw for 257 yards and 3 touchdowns, including 2 to Hollywood Brown and 1 to Xavier Worthy. He also added a rushing touchdown to cap off a dominant performance. Jared Goff passed for 203 yards and 2 touchdowns, but the Lions couldn't convert the 4th down attempts and had no takeaways. This game ended with a post-game boxing match between the Lions safety Brian Branch and the Chiefs wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, leading to a brief brawl. Campbell showed why he's a true leader of the team, as he states he loves Branch, but there's no place for actions like that.
He just got suspended, by the way. Cardinals at Colts. Jacoby Barbecue Brissett stepped in for injured Kyler Murray and threw for 320 yards and 2 touchdowns. But I just can't wait to be king, sang Jonathan Taylor, looking like Thomas, who pounced into the end zone to seal victory for the now 5-1 Colts. Colts 31, Cardinals 27. And that is the fastest 4 minutes in sports.
Wow.
I remembered what I was going to say before.
Okay.
All right. So do you think Ross feels, because these games have been close and that we have had a chance to win, that it's not that bad, and maybe he's waiting for us to start getting blown out to start making these type of decisions?
I mean, doesn't matter. Ask any racer, any real racer. Losing's losing, dude. And you keep losing.
Dom Toretto over here.
So, like...
Can you do the 1 inch, whether you lose by an inch or a mile?
Dom Toretto.
Winning's winning.
But losing is losing. And that's the same thing. So, it doesn't matter. And yesterday, I thought we had it. I thought they were going to get blown out in the 3rd quarter. It was pitiful. The offense couldn't do anything. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. And they had to come back, of course, just enough to blow the game, but that's enough. That's what's been happening for 4 years. What makes you think that anything is going to change? Little things like a 1st down. Nope, holding, bring it back. So now we have to do a reverse run to Waddle. Waddle throws it across the field for a 7-yard gain to miss a field goal. Like, it's just little things over and over and over. It doesn't matter, Mark. They should just get rid of them.
This trio of Greer, McDaniel, and Tua has not been working. Do you feel, as a Dolphin fan, Mark, that the Dolphins have any future with this trio going forward?
I mean, I do not think so.
Yeah.
But there's something that in Ross's mind that believes that this could work. Like, he's saying, until things get bad, and to your, you were saying earlier, it's bad what's going on. And I believe that this is bad. I get that we're losing. It doesn't matter if we're losing by 100 or 1. We're losing. And I'm wondering, is that what he's doing? Or is he just, does Greer have blackmail on him?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
The report about Ross a few weeks ago was that he wasn't going to make a move yet, but until the team maybe went like 1-5, 1-6, 1-7, then that's when he would start making moves. If we lose this game going into Cleveland this week against a rookie quarterback, and we go 1-6,
The reports that I kept
then you have to have to think like we got to really start. He should have already fired McDaniel,
right,
and Greer.
It
should already happened.
The reports that I kept on seeing was the bye week after the Madrid game that we're going to lose.
That's far away.
Right. But at the same time, at this point, that's why I called for it in the funeral, get rid of him after this game. At this point, stay. I don't want them to win games now. There's no point to win games at this point anymore. They're not going to make a miraculous comeback because they still got to go and play they got to play Josh Allen again. They got to play the Ravens with a health. I don't care what the Ravens are doing. They're going to have a healthy Lamar Jackson. We're not going to win that game. We have to play the MVP of the league right now, Baker Mayfield, later in the year. We have to...
The Commanders.
We have the Commanders still coming when they're going to get nice and healthy for us, of course.
You got to play the Falcons, who I believe right now are up on the Bills.
The Falcons' defense is like number one in yards giving up in the league right now. So, like, they're going to stop us because that's what's going to happen. I don't want to win any games. So, go ahead, McDaniel. Stay there. And to your point, Mark, I don't know if he actually has blackmail, or I don't know if Chris Greer has to stay there because of everything going on with Brian Flores. That could be absolutely what's going on. I don't know. But Chris Greer, I talked about draft picks last week, and just because we're continuing on the point, speaking about leadership, since that's the theme today of the leadership of what's wrong, how can you be a leader of a football organization and you admittedly cannot tell us what your style of football is, okay? You claim to pick the players for the coach. Why? So you can absolutely blame the coach. Oh, I picked on the players, but he can't do it. No, because we're always restructuring the football team. When we change something, we're not getting your style of head coach to come in to take the players of the team that you built and the coach did it incorrectly. You continuously change and rebrand for something that you don't know. Like, you don't know what Mike McDaniel likes in an offensive lineman. You know what you like, and guess what? It fails every time. So, to your point, Mark, should Mike McDaniel completely get fired? Yes, but I could see a world where no, because I haven't seen an offensive line that's good enough for him. I haven't seen a line that's good enough for him to run and Tua to run the offense that he wants to run, not the special offense that he made for Tua specifically. But it's too late, dude. You hitched your wagon to Tua when you came in and told everybody that you can make him a winner. You hitched your wagon twice when you went up to Stephen Ross by reports. I don't know this for sure. By reports that said, sign Tua because he's my guy. And then this year, when a little bit goes bad, you start leaking out to the media that Tua's the problem and I can't run an offense without Tua. You can't run an offense without the offensive line. Okay, that's the biggest problem amongst all of them. So, unfortunately, you go down with the ship. You're the captain, buddy. You got to go down. That's it. Like that Goodyear Blimp.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. So, some important injuries that happened over the weekend. I don't know if we say important. Let's start with in Tampa Bay. By the way, Baker Mayfield. What a dog. What a freaking dog.
It's my boy. My boy, man. You know, I tried to draft him in every single league. I have 3 leagues, and I couldn't get him.
You didn't get him once?
I didn't get him once.
You didn't try hard enough. I mean, you went 0 for 3?
0 for 3. My aunt took him the spot like right before me. Like, I had him in the queue ready to go, and my aunt took him, and I was like, what? Why'd you take him? And she's like, I just like him. I like Tampa.
She's right. She's absolutely right. Speaking of Tampa, wide receiver, star, rookie wide receiver, Mecca Ibuka was ruled out of Sunday's game with a hamstring injury. So can you give us, what does it mean to, for a hamstring injury? What do you feel? Is there a pop? If there's not a pop, what do you feel the next day? And then how fast can they get back to the
Did you
full
see the
strength?
play? I mean, this is such a loaded question because it could be so many different things. If you heard a pop, then we're in trouble.
I don't think he heard a pop.
You sure?
I spoke to him in my dream. He didn't have a pop.
So look, a strain or a sprain are two very different things. Okay, a sprain means ligament and a strain means muscle. So if he strained his hamstring, which means he tore the muscle fibers, that's a lot easier of an injury to deal with. It usually doesn't linger as long as like a ligament would. If the tendon is affected, where the tendon attaches to the bone, then that lingers a lot. And I don't like that at all. Like, I don't like hamstring strains for wide receivers, for running backs. So for sure, he should be out at least a month, I would say. But these guys are superhuman, so maybe they bring him in there. But I would just let him heal because they have a nice cushion in the South right now. So let him heal and do his thing.
Now going to another juggernaut. So Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 5-1 now, tied for their best start to a season. Sixth time they've gone 5-1 to start the season. Another team that's 5-1, the Indianapolis Colts, probably the biggest surprise of the NFL. Their backup quarterback, Anthony Richardson, suffered an orbital fracture while warming up for Sunday's game against the Cardinals. And he suffered the injury while working with an armband.
Yeah. So this is something that I have at all our clinics. We have 8 clinics in South Florida at Pinecrest Physical Therapy. If you want to come,
plug.
Let me know. But at every clinic that I go to and I check around to see how things are, I always ask the question: can we start ordering the elastic bands with the casing, the bungee casing over, for this specific reason? Because, we have those bands moving all day long. They're just moving and moving and moving. And I just have this nightmare that it's going to snap. And, luckily he just has a fracture. I'm thinking permanent damage to the eye.
Oh my gosh.
He's that close away from losing his eyesight. That's happened before. So if you're going to buy bands, I would buy the ones with the bungee so that if it rips, it stays in the bungee and you don't have to worry about that. Our boy Nick Martinez, also a Belen alum, he travels around only with his band, so he doesn't use the ones that are used 1,000 times.
So you're going to go Belen, I'm going to go Columbus. And Mark, we're Columbus graduates, very proud Columbus graduates.
Yeah, the Explorers all the way, baby.
Fernando Mendoza.
Mendo.
The Miracle Man. Came into Eugene, Oregon, taking his Fighting Indiana Hoosiers and beat the crap out of that team. 30 points. He threw a pick 6. Who gives a shit? Mark, third best team in college football right now behind Miami Hurricanes and the shitty Ohio State Buckeyes. But a Columbus quarterback right now, there's Heisman talk, Mark. There's first overall pick talk.
Or at least number 1 quarterback.
Un Cubanito, Mendoza. I mean, how awesome is that, dude?
It's great.
In general, like the whole Columbus athletics has gone on a huge uprise.
Oh, yeah.
With basketball, with the Boozer twins, with what they're doing, with all the other players that they're bringing in. It's fun to watch, man. It's great. And you guys can watch all of that on CCNN Live. Check it out. All the games are broadcasted live. So you can watch all of their games just CCNN Live, and they're all there.
Yeah, shout out to Omar out there doing big and better things, huh?
Big O, baby.
He also started at Belen, just if you didn't know.
Fernando Mendoza?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made a very good choice.
But then he didn't want to run the wing T anymore because he thought if he wanted to be a quarterback, he needs to actually throw the ball.
Made a good choice then. Here's the other thing about that.
You didn't see the thing on him this week? I was college game day?
I was preoccupied.
So he said that, and then he came on to the Columbus football team. He was a third-string quarterback that year. The first 2 guys gets hurt, and he gets the starting job, doesn't look back, and wins the first state championship for Columbus. So that's
God's
cool.
plan. God's plan. Doom. That's God's plan right there. That's what that happens right there. The other thing I want to say, potentially, is that Columbus could have the number 1 overall pick in football and could have the number 1 overall pick going into for basketball next year with Cam Bruiser coming out of Duke. You will never hear the end of this.
Yeah.
It will be the greatest thing ever. And Fernando Mendoza, and Cam Boozer, you guys have longtime fans here, and your jerseys will be up in the rafters over here at Cultura Media. Okay, now, going from good football to shitty football, the Miami Dolphins are going into the wonderful city that is Cleveland, taking on the Browns this Sunday, 1 o'clock. Dolphins are 2.5-point underdogs on the road. Over-under is 40.5. We're going to be playing against one of the best defenses in the NFL and going up against one of the worst offenses in the NFL behind a rookie quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, who already go to school, Chris?
Oregon.
Very nice, Chris. Very nice. Where did you go to before?
I was going to say, he went to many places.
Where did you go before?
Hawaii?
No.
UCLA?
No.
No idea.
Oklahoma? And before that,
Oh.
UCF.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a fighting Joey. All right, so
Fighting Joey.
Like a kangaroo, or
what do you feel about this game? What do we have to do to win? Because we all know it's just crap versus crap right now. 1-5 versus 1-5. What are the keys to the game according to Little?
the keys to the game is committing to the run. Okay, you cannot. You're gonna run the ball. They're gonna stuff you a couple times because they're gonna want you to pass because their pass rush, specifically Myles Garrett, is going to annihilate the Dolphins' offensive line. They're gonna stunt as much as they can to Jonas Savaiinaia, the worst player in football.
He had another whiff this week against Tui Tudulakala.
Yeah, he looks terrible every time. Even on the hot potato pick, the guy was already in his lap by the time that Tua got to his drop.
You know who looks kind of good, by the way? Cole Strange. The
Cole
right
Strange,
guard.
we picked up week 1. I don't even want to. This is.
I'm just saying that he was the kid that was the first round pick.
He looked fine.
Famous thing. He's played well for us. He looked okay.
He looked fine.
He looked
Where's
okay.
James Daniel?
I guess still having.
eligible
I
to
guess he's still having dinner with Vic.
Yeah, eligible to return, and he's still not there. Both of them eligible to
The
return.
guy that we're paying $7.5 million a year.
Him
And Austin Jackson.
and Austin Jackson and Jason Sanders all could have come back last game.
Oh, they're packing it in, dude.
They're not packing it in. They're just always injured. It is what it is. But again, the defense is, according to PFF, the number 1 defense in the league. I am not looking forward to this, but like we were saying, you have to commit to the run because you want the offensive line to be able to assert their aggressiveness on the defense. You don't want them to be reacting because if they're reacting, just like every time that we have for sure passing downs, it's going to end in a sack or it's going to end in a pick. That's my key to the game. Commit to the run. You?
My key to the game is to not even show up. I honestly feel like we should just pack it in, take the L. This is for movement in, the draft standings. Right now, they're above us. Them being the Cleveland Browns, they have a higher pick. Just pack it in. Lose the game. Maybe go to Cleveland. I don't know what they're known for in Cleveland, what type of food they're known for. Just go have a nice little lunch, pack it in, come back home, go 1-6, and call it shots. Because Myles Garrett, I am so scared for Tua this week. So scared.
You know what? It's fine. I would love to see Zach Wilson in this offense because everyone says that Tua's terrible.
Well,
I can't wait to see it.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see Zach Wilson.
I can't wait to see it.
I want to
Why
see
not?
Quinn Ewers.
Especially,
Tua.
Either one.
But I'm honestly scared for Tua's health.
but Quinn Ewers might be okay.
And then win us a couple games.
Yeah, we don't want to win any games, dude.
Well, can we at least find out if he's a good quarterback? Maybe he's the next Drake May.
It doesn't matter.
We were both wrong about Drake.
He's not
Drake
the
May.
next Drake May.
Have you seen him lately? Last game?
Yeah, he did great against the
the
Saints.
He was just throwing bombs out there.
Yeah.
He's getting a little. He's got a little.
He's an athlete. It's
kind of scary.
That's a difference maker.
Kind of scary.
You can actually escape and make plays on your feet and not have to slide.
Okay, so real quick, let's get the energy back up. Dolphins plus 2.5. Do the Dolphins cover? Yes or no? Who wins the game? Is your prediction?
Right. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Dog pound. Dog pound's winning the game, not the Dolphins, dude.
The puppy who lost his way. You go out there and you find that fucking dog. Let's go, Tua. Break the crap out of the dogs. Tua's going to go in there. It's going to put up a poo-poo fest. It's all going to be O'Reilly Patterson's. The Miami Dolphins win 17-13 on the road. Mark, your prediction for the game.
I got the Dolphins. That's it.
Sweet. Thank you, Mark. The pivotal Mark. I love it. All right.
Dynamite drop in.
Going in some key injuries, by the way, that they are Cam Robinson, their offensive tackle, is questionable with a knee injury. Jack Conklin, their other tackle, went out of the game last week, is in concussion protocol. He may be out of the game. And legend David Njoku also left Sunday's game and potentially is out.
Also always injured.
Yeah.
Always injured, man.
But such a stud.
He's a freak and he just looks like a monster out there. I love it.
Yeah, it's a knee injury for him, for David Njoku. So it's going to be strength versus strength. Our strength is our offense versus their number 1 defense, and our crappy defense versus their crappy offense. Let's see. They're 31st in the NFL in points scored, by the way. Or is it 32nd? It's 32nd. Sorry. All right. Going into LBO.
And points scored?
Yes.
So they're not very good.
They're terrible.
The Browns.
They're terrible. The Browns are terrible.
How does PFF have the number one defense because of what's supposed to happen in a game? That doesn't make any sense.
No. The defense is the number one defense. Their offense.
Yeah.
Their offense is absolutely terrible. All right, LBO Locks last week. Let's go into our betting segment brought to you by Nobody in case you guys want to, go there. 2-3 last week. Little went 2-3, 20-13 for the season still. Very strong seasons to campaign for yourself.
I told you I didn't like last week.
You did not. You said that you did not like some of the games. 4-5 last week for Big. Also going 0-1 on the prop bet. So I am 19-20 on the season. Prop bets are 2-1. Producer Mark 2-3 last week. Not a bad week. Mark is 17-23. So you got first, you got second, and you got third. All right. So we got 4 games on the slate. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going into Cincinnati to take on Joe Flacco and the Bengals. Steelers are 6-point favorites. Over/under is 42.5. This game is Thursday night at 8:15 p.m. on Prime Video. One stat for you guys. Mike Tomlin is 4-8 against the spread as a road favorite between 5.5 and 7.5 points. This is a divisional game. I am going to go with Chris. Chris, give us your pick.
You're the absolute worst, dude.
Okay, Mark, can you give me your pick, please?
I'm going to take the Steelers, and I'm going to take the under.
Love it. Chris, you got a pick?
So the short week, that's what we got caught last week with the Giants versus the Eagles, right? We're
And a divisional game.
At the Bengals division. Joe Flacco, who's played for everybody in that division except for the Steelers at this point.
That's correct. So wait, let's go through that. Plays for the Bengals now. He played for the Browns.
He started
played
with
for the Ravens. Yeah. Nice, very nice. Yes, that's correct.
So I don't think he's going to get to play with the Steelers, though.
Who knows? You can't. At this point, we have no idea.
Yeah, maybe he'll do it just to do it. So the Steelers looked really good last week, though. Did you see that at all?
I did not. They also played the Browns, right? Yeah, at home. Aaron Rodgers has been efficient. He's looking okay. He's throwing it to DK Metcalf. They got a good running game over there, and their defense is full strength now. That's the problem.
Yeah. My heart tells me to go to the Bengals, but
The Bengals came off a loss, 24-10 in.
I'm gonna take the
24-17.
Steelers here.
You're gonna take the Steelers here.
-6, yeah.
Okay. Well, I am gonna go with the Bengals then because I want to do a shot bet.
And I'm gonna go with the over. I'm gonna give both.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Okay.
I like that one. All
right. I'm gonna go with the Bengals here. Joe Flacco has too many weapons. 6 points is a lot against a divisional foe.
You're right.
Jamar Chase. I don't know if you guys saw that guy yesterday up in Lambeau doing everything he can for his team to win. Give me the fighting Joe Flaccos and the Bengals. I am not going to touch the over-under because I have no inclination of which way I should pick.
Speaking of hamstrings, Jalen Ramsey, his hamstring wasn't very long either. So he played yesterday, didn't he?
I believe I saw him have a sack yesterday.
Yeah. I think he had a big play at the end of the game.
That Steelers defense is no joke. You know, with J.J. Watt, you got Highsmith there, you got Patrick Queen, and you got Ramsey. Scary team. Okay, now, it's our last London game, ladies and gentlemen, but this time in Wembley Stadium, and the Queen will most likely not be there because she's dead. I forgot it right now. Maybe the King will be there, but the Los Angeles Rams are going to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are -3 points. They're -3 favorites. Over-under is 45.5. NFL favorites in international games have historically performed well, going 33-19 against the spread. Favorites of a field goal or more overseas are 23-14. Mark, who do you like here?
I lose. Who are we talking about right now? Every time you talk in this voice, I
Talking about the Rams versus the Jaguars.
The Rams and the Jaguars.
The Rams are favorites by a field goal. And the over-under is 45.5. The Rams are a very good football team.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams.
So are the Jaguars. The Jaguars are very good.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Rams. And that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it. Okay, Mr. Chris.
Yeah, the Rams just played on the road in Baltimore, and they have to go again on the road to England. That's going to be rough, and they lost Puka.
Very good point here, Puka.
So and Jacksonville, they were over there last week, no? So they're staying there.
No, the Jaguars lost at home versus who did they lose at home against? Oh, the Seahawks went into Jacksonville. Jacksonville had a come down game as always, right? Coming down from that victory against the Chiefs at home, they lost. Jacksonville's 4-2, but the Jaguars, this is kind of like their second home, right? They're the ones
play
that
there
have
all
always
the
been
time.
tied.
I'm gonna go with the Jags here. The Rams only scored 17 points against the Ravens D, which we know is not very good. I'm gonna take the under.
I will be taking the Rams. I don't think that the Jaguars are anything special, in my opinion. The other, and they have to have takeaways, which they didn't have last game against the Seahawks, to be successful, and that's kind of been what their success has been all year long. Stafford doesn't make a lot of mistakes. I think he's going to go in there. They're going to win that game. Give me the Rams, and I will also be taking the under. That's too many points. 45.5 is too many points. In London, these poor Brits, and they spend all their pounds, all their tea money, and they get shitty games. It's going to be a slugfest in the bad way. Give me the under. Okay, two of the hottest teams in football. The Indianapolis Colts are going to L.A. to take on Justin Herbert and the L.A. Chargers. Chargers are -1 favorites at home.
Really?
Over-under is 48. The disrespect to the Chargers, or is that respect on the Fighting Daniel Joneses?
Wait, what you said?
-1 for over-under is 48. Sunday at 4:05 p.m.
Wow, that's high.
That's very high. That's absolutely very high. Now, the Chargers, as we saw, are banged up, right?
Right.
They gave up 27 points to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
The Dolphins.
And their run defense isn't very good.
It is not very good. And Jonathan Taylor is the little engine that could. He's a stud. I am going to go first here. I'm going to go with the Colts on the road. Going to go 6-1. Over under. Give me the over here at 48. Mark?
I'm going to take the Colts, and I'm going to take the under.
Love it. Mr. Chris?
I'm going to take the Colts as well.
Ooh. 3 Colts.
Yeah.
You like anything on the over-under?
Nah,
It's a lot of points.
I don't like it.
It's a lot of points. All right.
But if they get into a shootout, if Justin Herbert actually shows up to a game and be the guy that everyone thinks he is, they can have a big back and forth.
Yeah.
Because
Justin Herbert versus Daniel Jones.
Because Quentin Johnson wasn't in the game last year.
He was not in the game.
So they were definitely missing that element to their offense yesterday.
I appreciated Quentin Johnson not being in the game for the Chargers because he looked more at Lad McConkey, and finally he had a very nice game, 7 receptions, 100 yards and a touch. Had that game-sealing reception. Love me some Lad. So Quentin Johnson can stay on the sideline there for a little bit. All right. Last game of the weekend for us that we're going to pick. The New York Giants, coming off that big win at home versus the Eagles, are going into Mile High, take on the Broncos. Broncos are 7-point favorites. Over-under is 40. Sunday at 4:05 p.m. Chris, you wanted us to pick this game.
And I'm going to talk about it because we're learning together how to bet here, guys. Okay, so this game, these type of games to me are very tricky because it's 6.5. That's a big one. We already had one already, a whole touchdown. NFL, you don't really lose by that much. The Giants are a little bit hot here. They have some momentum coming, but I'm gonna take the Broncos even with that. even with that high spread. The over under is 40.5.
Yeah, 40. I have it at 40.
Yeah, I'm taking the over.
So the Giants had you saw with the Jaguars. I think there was another I forgot of another team that comes out of these highs. Like, I think that this is going to be a letdown game for the Giants going to the Broncos. I think the Broncos had a terrible game against the Jets, in foggy London town. I like Bo Nix here. I think he's going to have a rebound. I think he's had a crappy sophomore season. The NFL has kind of figured him out. But nonetheless, give me the under here. And I think it's going to be a slugfest between Cam Scatterboo and, that good defense on the Giants side. You know what? Give me the Giants here. I think it might be a letdown game, but the Broncos, the Broncos make way too many penalties. It just shoot themselves in the foot. Give me the Giants and give me the under here. Well, not a sexy pick, but I feel good about it.
It's 7.5.
It's 7 at the moment.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. If it was 7.5, for sure, I would go with the Giants. I doubt it would go. It might move. It's very early on, right? We're in Monday right now.
By Monday morning, it was 6.5. So you're already telling me it's
already gone up. It's already gone up. Yes, I think it's going to move down though. Pretty sure.
We don't get that though, right? We don't get the move.
No, we don't get the move. Unfortunately, not.
It's okay. We put the bet in.
Yeah,
lock it in.
Mark.
I'll take the Giants on that one, and that's it.
Cam Scatterboo.
And I get it. I understand. This is why betting is hard, guys. That's why you shouldn't do it, because in the NFL, it's very hard to win by more than a touchdown most days. But we're getting into the weeks where teams start packing it in. So if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen now. Earlier in the year, we saw a lot of 3.5, 4.5, 2.5. Now we're seeing a lot bigger spread. We saw it earlier with the other game. What game? I think the Steelers.
The Steelers are 6-point favorites
Steelers and Bengals,
on the road.
And we see it with this game. So it gets a little trickier here.
Even the Bengals, I think the Bengals last week going into Lambeau, I thought I saw were 12.5-point.
Right,
underdogs.
That's ridiculous.
Going with Joe
Did it hit?
Flacco. No, that the Bengals backdoor covered. They scored a late touchdown too.
Because they're always paying attention to what's going on in Vegas.
Here's the other thing with Vegas. I bet on the Texas-Oklahoma game. And real quick, let's talk about this. These quarterbacks in college football right now, no one has kind of pulled themselves away.
It's because the Dolphins are looking to pick a quarterback. So that's why.
It was always Lenore Sellers. He's not having a good year. John Mateer, the Oklahoma quarterback who had a shoulder injury, was he going to play? He played.
Thumb injury.
Thumb injury, sorry. Three interceptions last game. Yeah, Maybe he should not have played.
He can't feel his thumb. He fractured his thumb. They had surgery on it 2 weeks ago.
So that game,
there's no way he has the strength to hold
Texas
the football.
was 2.5-point favorites going into the Red River rivalry shootout yesterday.
In the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah. And I picked Oklahoma. I'm like, Mateer's back or whatever. Vegas knew. Vegas absolutely knew. So just always trust Vegas. Like for you, those handicappers out there, you guys want to be handicappers. You want to. It just shows you that the person here who has never bet before is 20-13. It is what it is. It's a crapshoot. So just be careful with your money out there, folks. And with that, take us home, Chris.
Well, you really put me on the spot there. But don't forget that this episode is brought to you by Sacieta Law, personal injury attorneys. If you've been injured in a car accident, you need more than just a lawyer. You need an advocate who truly cares and fights hard for what you deserve. Call Sacieta Law at 305-340-9082 or visit sacietalaw.com for your free consultation. Sacieta Law, where strength meets compassion. Sayonara, suckers.
That was so seductive.